it's just
Yeah.
the absolute irony
Hmm.
of these, we're so amazingly tough and patriotic, having to go find their own little safe space
Yeah,
where
it's beautiful.
they couldn't, they couldn't interact with the liberals, is just amazing to me. I
It
just
is.
I
I
it
can't. Uh, I
it
can't wait
is
to dive in.
the tastiest of irony. I mean, I just, we can add graphics to our live video. Oh my goodness! All these new things.
Hey, and we
Facebook,
are live.
Facebook, giving us all of the new stuff, folks. How are you doing? It is Wednesday night.
What is
Glad to be
going on?
back. It's been a crazy week. When last we spoke on Thursday, we didn't know much, and now we do. So, everybody, it is the Evan and Aaron show. I'm Aaron. This is my buddy Evan. Evan, let's just jump right in. How's it going,
Let's do
man?
it, man. It is going. Let me just say that it is going. And whoo, man, what an incredible week we've had. But yes, that deserves, and even with my Cleveland Browns,
Well,
that deserves a.
notice I'm rocking. Wait, I turn it around this way.
Oh, there you go. The IU.
Got
Oh man,
got the
top
Hoosiers
10,
on top
top
10,
10.
playing well. Hopefully can take care of business at MSU this weekend, and then a little showdown in Columbus in a couple weeks, man. Honestly, I you'd think this would be the season to get excited, except there, you know how it goes. Like, we've kind of had Ohio State's, I wouldn't say number, but we've played well against Ohio State for several seasons when we weren't necessarily all that good. So it would be just the ultimate of
Dude,
this,
I've
how
told you
shit should go
time.
if you just blow us away in
Right.
Columbus.
No,
But
but I've told you time and time again. There are three teams that I'm scared of every single freaking time we play them in the Big Ten. Number one, you never want to lose to the worst team in the Big Ten. Michigan, I'm scared of Wisconsin. They always have a
yeah,
solid
oh
team.
yeah,
Always have a solid team. And Indiana, because Indiana always,
yep,
always puts points up against us, and it's a track meet. It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And so
And it's
here's the
going to be
thing.
again. Penix
Yeah,
was 30 of 50. He threw 50 times the other day. Is that crazy?
I'm telling you, man. I have a good feeling. Now, Ohio State's game is canceled this week, obviously because of COVID. Did you hear that?
What game?
I got that. Ohio State's football game this week is canceled.
I did not know that.
Yeah, their football game's canceled. I'm assuming it's because of COVID. I got that information late from a really trusted source, um, my significant other, and she kind of rubbed it in on me too. But anyway, their game's canceled this week. But Ohio State is ranked, I believe, number one right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so the beauty behind this is that there are so many huge Big Ten games that are going to be played, hopefully. Um, I'm excited about Big Ten football this year. I'm excited about Hoosier football. I don't know, Aaron. Has Indiana become more of a football school? Have they started to turn the corner? I don't know. What do you think?
Um, Probably not just
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
From the standpoint that it's just always an uphill battle when it comes to recruiting in this state. I mean,
Mhm.
I've said it before: the best kids in Indiana are going to go to Ohio State or Michigan or Notre Dame if they
Mhm.
can.
Yeah.
And then after that, just you go down from there. I mean, up until recently, I would have said IU was behind Ball State in the pecking order for some kids as
Well,
far as their
I'm
football
telling
game
you,
goes. So,
it has changed its ways. Guys, listen, today obviously is Veterans Day, so we want
yep,
to give a shout out. Actually, there's so many veterans. I want to say thank you. All the veterans we want to thank. Um, Cody and Roger, if you're watching, brothers, thank you so much for your
shout.
service. But Aaron, I wanted to share something with you tonight, man. I'm not sure that I showed this to you before. Um, this if you can see, let me turn it to where there's not so much reflection. Can you kind of see it there?
Again, to all whom it may concern.
Okay. This is my third or I can't remember. It's my fourth great grandfather's Civil War discharge papers. Civil War discharge papers, brother.
Wow. I
He
think you told me
served.
you had them.
Yeah, yeah. He served in the 88th Regiment, U.S. Colored Infantry, and was discharged from service August 2nd, 1865, in Memphis. Uh, it, this day means a lot to me, obviously because of that. But this day also means a lot because it doesn't matter if you're red or blue. These men and women protect all of us.
Yes.
And, we just, man, we owe them so much. And the hurt and the pain that they bring back with them, we don't nearly talk about enough. We don't nearly support them enough. And so today, I'm doing two shots. I'm doing one right now, and I'll do one at halftime. And you know what? Here's the thing. I want to give a shout out to someone else too. Gia just posted. Gia has done something for me and my family that has not been done for a lot of African American families. This woman has literally single-handedly helped trace our lineage, and have found some incredible people in my lineage. I'm forever, in her debt.
That's awesome.
And I'm also in her debt for, being there, as many spouses of veterans are. And so today, just at the beginning, I just want to give a shout out and a shot to all of our veterans. Thank you so much. Sláinte.
Thank you. All right. So to the proverbial elephant leaving the room.
Wow, that was good.
We
That was
had
good.
an election a
Did we?
week or so ago.
We did?
Seems
Oh,
like it
wow.
lasted for quite some time.
Mhm.
And despite what some dark corners of certain people's minds and the internet would have you believe, we did have a winner. Joe Biden is the president-elect of the United States. There are going to be some lawsuits. There's a lot of shouts about voter fraud and things like that. But thus far, really nothing credible. There will be a hand recount in Georgia because of how close the vote is, and that's fine. I think there can probably be a recount in Michigan if you'd like, but we're talking, what was the margin of victory in Michigan? 150,000 maybe?
Yeah, I think it was pretty substantial.
I'd have to look it up. But this is a long shot. It's a Hail Mary. We shouldn't be surprised. I'm more concerned about him firing Esper and other people and directing the Department of Justice to do certain things. What Mike Pompeo said today is a little disconcerting as well. But we've just barely hung in there by a thread throughout all this. We've destroyed a lot of norms, but the U.S. government is still functioning. And I think come January 20th, I wonder if he shows up to the inauguration. I think that could be interesting. But on January 20th, we have a new president. And, I was having this conversation with a fraternity brother yesterday. He's a really, really smart guy. He's published. And I believe I don't know if he's a minister or not, or a pastor. I'm honestly, I never know which of those terms is actually correct. I think he runs a church.
Thoughts and prayers.
And he's a good dude. And we had a conversation. And he started out with, it's, everybody's talking about dialogue or some of the effect of it's interesting that everybody says, oh, it's now time to dialogue once their side is won. And two things. I was ready to dialogue 4 years ago. But it was the winners that weren't ready to dialogue. They were not ready to have a conversation. And I'm offering an olive branch right now to have conversations with people. But there has to be some sort of objective reality. And I think it's time for people to decide whether or not they're Republicans / conservatives or if they're Trump supporters, because it's hard to distinguish right now. But if you want to be a traditional Republican, a traditional conservative, we can have a conversation. We can talk about rational conservative policies.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want this knee-jerk reactionism, that is, the cult of personality of Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
you can't separate the man from his policies. It's not
Right.
possible.
I thought about this for a while today, man, and it finally hit me. I think that the Republican Party is having a Bill Paxton moment where they're looking and they're seeing that the Republican Party is no more, or it's quickly becoming no more. And they're like, game over, man, game over. I mean, literally, they're saying game over, because the fact is that Trump has made this his party.
Mm-hmm.
And things are already coming out. And guys, Aaron, I don't know why I did this. I really don't. Maybe I'm more disturbed than what I thought, but I am a covert op. I will say that, on parlay.
God bless you, sir.
And the fact is,
are you sure it's not parlor?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's parlor, and I covered this up because I didn't want to do any infringement piece. But this is my parlor outfit. Black shirt because I'm mourning, in mourning for our, the Fuhrer, Trump himself, and then a hat. Of course, I got to have a hat, and it's got to look distressed because I got to look tough. It is
the hardest part hating other black people?
Yeah. That's probably, I'm doing the whole what was the Dave Chappelle? What was the guy the black guy in the Klan? What was his name? Oh, I can't remember.
Shit.
I know. I'm like, that is one of the funniest. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm on this thing, guys, and Aaron, I will tell you, parlay was made in 2018, so it's only a couple years old, and up until July, it had about 2.6 million users. I read something today that said that since the election, they have added 1 to 2 million people per day. Let me say that again. 1 to 2 million per day. Okay. It has slowed down, which is good, but I am happy to report that a lot of famous figures have been on parlay for a while. Parlor, it's the McDowell's of social media.
That's
yes,
fucking awesome.
That one wins.
Let your soul glow.
If we had Evan and Aaron t-shirts, oh my God, he would get like one right now. That'd be cool. But
we're gonna have to come up with Evan and Aaron t-shirts,
dude. I'm telling you, it is a shit show. That it is.
Did you expect anything else though? I mean, I've seen some screenshots, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, you have so many different people on here. Okay, Devin Nunes, Ted Cruz, Steve Levin, just anybody you can think of. Now you have to be a
verified account, correct? You have to provide.
You have to be a verified account, which I've put nothing.
So you can lurk, but you can't post.
I can post.
Okay.
And here's the thing.
Then what's
liberals? Well, liberals went there and they were just going to troll everybody, but they are monitoring it. And I'll warn you, they're monitoring it really close. They will kick your ass out.
Okay, except for this. I saw an entire thread today of a guy saying, I think it's time to go out and kill all Democrats. This was a strange thing. He said all Democrats, all journalists, and all millennials. The fuck they got against millennials? Like, what an obscure group to decide that you're going to hate on.
That's your next batch of white supremacists coming up there, bud.
Kill off a whole generation that may or may not agree with you. I mean, I think Gen Z is probably the more concerning one for you.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
here's what's so funny about this, man. And we were talking about this before we went on air, and I love what you said. You were like, when we look at Parlor, and I'm just going to call it Parlor because I don't want to offend any friends that are French out there. I just don't. When we look at Parlor, you see so many stupid things, dude. I know it's hilarious, but I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm leaving the live feed, and I'm going to tell you what is being posted right now. Okay, so I'm refreshing. First 3 people that have posted, because I'm not following Joe Schmo. I'm following big dogs, okay? Sean Hannity, obviously, Devin Nunes, Diamond and Silk. That is what you get when you join Parler. Now, I am going to read the Diamond and Silk post. Help President Trump expose and uproot the fraud. Donald J. Trump for President Incorporated. They have started not just a website, but they have started an actual corporation to uproot and expose the fraud against Donald J. Trump.
Let them. Look, if you want to spend millions of dollars for some futile, sort of hand-waving exercise, do it. And this is what I think is funny. So, Trump admin campaign, whatever, has been sending out these really, really nasty emails to people saying, we've contacted you several times and you still haven't donated any money. Do you you don't care about Donald Trump and all this stuff? I'm like, okay, you're harassing them. And then you do go and donate money to its legal defense fund, or not legal defense, but, pursuing these lawsuits. But in the fine print, it says 50% of all the money that comes in will be used to pay down the debt the campaign ran up trying to get him elected. So it may never even go to the lawsuits. We're just paying off the fact that Donald Trump is a broke ass.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot, man. It's so funny. We're in the middle of this conversation, and my significant other texted me for my Hulu login info.
Look, man, these are necessary things.
I hope Hulu isn't watching.
You know what? They clearly do not care.
They don't care.
Netflix could give a damn. Hulu, they don't care. It's people.
No,
it's people watching, and there's advertisements being sold. They don't care, because here's the thing: you're allowed 3, accounts with the basic one, right?
Yes.
Or I should say more than that, because you can.
Well, I have unlimited screens.
Oh, streams.
But you have to be on the same Wi-Fi. That's the key.
Okay.
So I know what's going to happen. She's going to change it. She's going to say, "Oh, this is my home base," and then I'm going to get on after this, and I'm going to have to change it back. Well, I'm going to have to change it back. I'm going to be that guy. You see, I'm going to be that guy. But anyway, here's what's scary, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, because Aaron, Parler. I just feel weird saying Parler. It is a haven for conspiracy theories. I saw something on here. One of the responses to what's their face? Who are they? Diamond and Silk. I saw one of the responses, and I want to read it to you. And I was like, oh my God, wow, that's concerning.
They look more like bacon and eggs, is all I'm saying.
They look like they ate all the bacon and eggs. Oh, did I really say that out loud? Dang, I should have kept that to myself. I'm sorry. I'm an ally, and I try not to go on that. But anyway, here it is. So someone actually said, if anyone is looking to understand more about World War III, message me and I'm not going to say it. This is the stuff, man. This is the stuff that. Am I scared? Nah. But am I worried that this is going to continue on this platform that people have created with no restrictions or no governance? Yeah. It worries me. It worries me a bit.
Well, but
it does.
Here's the thing. like I said, I saw a screenshot earlier of a guy who was advocating just going out and killing all the Democrats, all the journalists, and like I said, the millennials. Look out, millennials.
Something just
But
came in. Something just came in. Someone just commented, said he should be president for life. I would agree to quartering troops in my house.
and again, though, this is. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
I'm more concerned about, and I'm not that concerned because here's the thing: anyone can get on this platform. Do you really think right now there aren't at least 100 FBI agents assigned to monitoring this the same way they are other social media?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who posted about wanting to murder a bunch of Democrats and all this stuff, everybody who's posting shit like that, you just made the list.
Yeah.
And this
you did.
The second you reach out to somebody else, the second you go to a gun shop and buy an AR, you've made the list, and now they're following you around. And everybody you talk to, this is how this works. This is what people just like. I'm concerned from a cultural standpoint. It disappoints me that we have mainstreamed such an extreme ideology. And this was something, that like I go back to the conversation I told you I was having last night. I'm like, we got to stop this both sidesism shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There are extremists on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But objective reality says no one's mainstreaming environmental terrorism that some people on the left support. Nobody's mainstreaming squatting government buildings. Nobody's mainstreaming a lot of these hard left ideas. They're out there, but no one's giving them any serious thought. And even people, the big scary thing to the right is taking away guns. Look, there is no serious, consistent movement on the left to ban guns. Now, ban certain types of guns, ban certain types of weaponry, yes. And I think that's a legitimate policy discussion because we've obviously interpreted the Second Amendment a couple different ways, but no one is truly suggesting that. Meanwhile,
back in the Hall of Justice,
we've just elected and elevated a QAnon conspiracy theorist to the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Now, who is that? That's the right. Mm-hmm. And like you said, millions of people have joined this new platform, mm-hmm. to take up their ugly ideology there. So that's a significant number of people to me. I don't think there are 10 million people on the left who support environmental terrorism, who support taking down the World Trade Organization.
Because, we have jobs, contrary to popular opinion.
The irony of that.
We do things. Here's my last thing I'll say about it. And I will continue to report about what I find on this thing. What is shocking to me about what I'm seeing and what I'm finding? You and I both know, and we both have friends who are legitimate Republicans, who are people who, they're like, look, I'm conservative. And those are the people that, quite frankly, the reason why I'm still friends with them is because they said, this guy is a lunatic. And I'm not going to support this guy. I think what needs to happen is we need to realize the fact that this site, this social media thing, Parler, is not something where all Republicans go. This is something where I'm sorry, and I have so many friends who are psychologists, psychiatrists, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to use the C word. There are so many crazies on this site, man. We should not treat this as you said, as the norm. This is something that is so obscure. This is something that is so out there. But it should be something that we keep our eye on because, as you said, millions of people are flocking to this. and millions of people are being influenced by this. I mean, right now.
I'm going to push back, though. I mean, you're following Sean Hannity, Devin Nunes, and Diamond and Silk, three of the most high-profile mainstream Republicans there are.
Yep.
And they're prominently posting on this ugly, ugly cultural application. It is mainstream. This is the norm now. Who's going to step up? Mitt Romney can no longer. He can't take over the party. And everybody who ran in 2016 has jumped on board the Trump train, aside from Mitt Romney.
I will say this: Hannity has been there.
I take that back. One guy hasn't. Herman Cain's dead.
Chris Christie was damn near dead. Anyway, Sean Hannity has been on there since June 24th of 2020. He has 3.1 million followers as of right now. Okay. And maybe I do. Maybe I have my rose-colored glasses on, and thank you for helping me rip them off. I refuse to believe that the majority of people who call themselves conservative, I'm not saying Republican, two different things, people that call themselves conservative get on this thing and actually believe all of the bullshit coming from people like this. I have to believe that the majority of those folks don't even get on this thing, or maybe check it out and say, whoa, there's a lot of strange bullshit going on here. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man.
I appreciate that sentiment, but 70 million.
You're going to destroy my world right now, aren't you?
70 million people voted for Donald Trump. That's almost 7 million more than voted for him last time, which begs the question, the fuck did he do to convince 7 million more people that he was worthy? I mean, really. But that's 70 million people who don't see the difference between conservatism and Trumpism.
You need to check out what Gia just said. There's a minority of conservatives and a majority of radicals. This is how you get terrorism. Damn. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I won't be Pollyanna anymore. Well, and it's a nice time to have halftime, but I know you're going to say something else.
It's a question mark is all I'm saying. It's a question mark, right? We were having this discussion during the summer. You know, it's the whole, well, most cops are good, only a few are bad kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I want to believe most cops are good. I do. But I see an awful lot of stuff that reinforces the notion that there's an awful lot of them that aren't, and throw in the number who aren't doing enough to get rid of the bad cops. I mean, because here's my thing. Look, I get it. You're a Republican. You're going to vote for Republican policies. But at what point do you say this guy doesn't represent us? At what point do you say he is toxic and he's counter, what he's doing is going to make it more difficult to ultimately enact good conservative policies? Because nothing he's done has been a quote unquote traditional conservative policy other than trying to appoint judges that'll help overturn things like Roe v. Wade. We didn't get, we got a tax cut for the highest, top 1% again, but the economy isn't booming. We haven't created great breakthroughs with adversaries, and we've alienated our allies. And look, it may be a big issue for a certain group of people, but I can tell you this. The embassy in being moved to Jerusalem is such a, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard that be a part of the Republican platform. That's such a niche, like, I got to appeal to this specific group of people, and nothing's going to come of it. There's a massive disconnect for me, and I don't know how to talk to these people.
I'm very much trying to not be cynical. I'm trying to be kind of be there for Joe. But I think, there's a lot of there's a lot of things inside of me that's pulling me more toward the fact that, you know what, look, I am there. Yes, we have a lot of healing to do in this country, but some people need to be kicked in the ass. And quite frankly, Mary, and by the way, Mary, hope you're feeling better. Get well, um, you know, and, I want you to get well so you can kick Ryan's ass around some more. It's inside joke, so don't worry about it. Anyway, she says, all the people I know who voted for him, but but the economy. So apparently he did enough for the economy to overlook his being racist, hateful, crazy person. Yes, I I don't think you have that argument anymore. You just don't have that argument anymore unless you are someone who is well to do, unless you're someone who is invested in the stock market. You do not have the argument anymore that it's all about the economy and you're voting for Trump about the economy.
Well, and I
Um,
think they would say that had it not been for the coronavirus and all that stuff, we wouldn't
hmm,
be in this shape. But then I get to go back and say, yeah, except your guy fucked up the response to the coronavirus, so the economy shouldn't be as bad as it is
yeah,
now. Good. I don't care who would have been in charge. If Hillary would have been in charge, coronavirus still would have happened. It just
yes,
wouldn't have been as bad.
no,
And I think
because
that's
we,
easily demonstrable when you look at how nations around the world handle it and what they're going through. Yes, there are second waves and third waves that are going to
mhm,
happen to everybody because that's human nature. But
yeah,
look at a place like Taiwan that locked it down. Look at India that up until recently didn't really spike all that much. I mean, look at
yeah.
these different places and how they handled it, and then look at how poorly we did. So I'm sorry. There's just
If Hillary would have been in office when COVID hit, yes, we still would have lost people. People would have still died. But the fact is, we would have had the full weight of the entire world behind us,
mm,
and we would be behind them. We would be in the Paris Accord. We would be still, helping out our friends and our neighbors to the north and to the south, and we'd be collaborating. And the fact is that Pfizer, and I love what Pfizer did, they just gave a big fuck you to Trump after he came out and
yeah.
tried to claim,
Oh, Pence, yeah.
yeah, or Pence trying to claim, hey, we did this. Pfizer's like, no, asshole, we did this. And we hire LGBTQI people, which you said that they don't really matter. So screw you. Anyway, it's beyond me what excuse you have anymore to back this guy. It's beyond me. I don't understand. I will never understand. And my significant other and I had a discussion about this the other day, and she has come over to the dark side. And she said, Evan, the fact is that um, I'm to the point now to where I say, fuck them. And I'm like, there you go. That's why, we're ride or dies. Let's see. Gia says, and tomorrow I get to prove my brain even looks pretty healthy right now. These stupid dudes in life, we sniffle, we're zombies. So our good friends Gia and Mary are dancing with the COVID virus right now.
Rona.
Mary's been confirmed with the Rona. We're with you. We love you.
Hang in there, man.
Get through there. Gia's test is tomorrow. Gia, we got you. You know what? Yeah, yeah. Um, so anyway, we are at halftime. We're past halftime, my
Past
friend.
halftime.
What do you got for us, bro?
I don't know. So it's been a crazy week. The coronavirus is just spiking. I saw a report today about Indiana hospitals being at capacity for beds, and that was something that even when we weren't doing as well earlier, we were well below capacity. I think we were well below 50%. It's a rough time. It's hard to be optimistic. But I don't know. We always seem to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the truth is some people won't, some people haven't, some people have died. And people have died because of the policies of this president and the failures of this president. And all I can say at this moment is hopefully we've got something to look forward to. I don't know what kind of president Joe Biden's going to be. I hope it's better than what we've had for 4 years.
Yeah.
But it's halftime. So shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. Ayo has disappeared on us.
Oh no. Oh no.
But everybody else, thanks for tuning in thus far. Shout out to everybody at the tap. We were there this weekend. It was beautiful weather. It was good to see people and sit outside and say hi. So as usual, love you all. If you got anything to add before the toast?
Actually, you know, to the folks who are watching, those of you who don't know, this is our halftime shot. And so if you have a libation that you like to shoot or kick back or whatever, throw back, this is your time. Get it, and you know what? Do a shot with us. So I'm going to say this. There's a dear friend of mine, her name's Teresa, just on the front lines, has been on the front lines of COVID since day one. Incredible resource, nurse practitioner that is just one of the most incredible people I know. So I'm sending sending this shot out for you, Teresa. You are golden, quality, good people, and we love you. So, friends of the show, Sláinte. Woo. I don't think the Rona likes Jameson. Oh, I shouldn't have said it out loud. Dang it.
Oh, dude, we blew that out of the water a long time ago.
Have to do this? Yeah, okay, screw it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we need the sponsors.
Yeah. There you go. Shall we dive into the Reed case?
Yeah. I think we started with it earlier. For those who haven't followed, the grand jury opted not to indict Officer. I can't think of his name.
I just
Dreasjon something.
Yeah, Dreasjon.
Opted not to indict him. Basically saying it was a legitimate use of deadly force in this situation. There's just still too many question marks. The big issue here is that the grand jury is behind closed doors, and we're never going to know the full evidence. The police have released the slow-mo of the video and super close-ups and things like that. It's not terribly conclusive. I mean, and I'm gonna let you be the one to say it, because I don't think it would sound good coming from me. So let's go back to kind of what we were discussing before the show, and then dive in a little deeper.
This is hard. This is really hard because it goes back to the talk.
Yeah.
Right. It goes back to the talk. I don't know who all's going to see this or who all's watching. But as a father of girls, girls of color, I have somewhat of a luxury. Not so much, because girls of color are 5 times more likely to get disciplined in school than, Caucasian. But when you look at everything that has happened in our society since this summer, and I say since this summer, but I fully am aware that this has been going on forever. But I just want to look at this summer on. What we see Black souls who have been exterminated, right in front of our eyes. This is a situation. This is a situation that just shows that you have to have absolutely 100% indisputable evidence as a Black person to get justice in this world. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We all know that if I've done something, I shouldn't run from the police. I get it. I understand it. Totally understand that. But I think we all understand, too, the fact that if I run from the police, that does not mean that I need to die. We have a back and forth situation. And Aaron, we were talking about this. We were having a back and forth situation where, Sean's lawyers were saying that he didn't have a gun. The police are saying he did. And we have no evidence. None. We have hearsay. And we know how that goes. And quite frankly, here's the thing, is that if we didn't have video evidence of George Floyd, if we didn't have video evidence of Tamir Rice, if we didn't have video evidence of Ahmaud Arbery, would we be in the same place that we are here with Dreasjon Reed? Possibly. We will never know, I believe, exactly what happened. And so I think from this, what we need to take away from is, number one, and you said it so eloquently, Aaron, there is a mother who is grieving once again in America over her Black son. That needs to hit us in the heart so hard that is the reason why we still scream for action. And then number two, I think it's interesting in the fact that we are still protesting, because the fact is that we get all kinds of shit from the right saying, well, Black officers kill Black people too. And it's like, yeah, we don't give a shit. It is the police force that we're concerned about.
Yeah.
We are concerned about the police. Okay? Overwhelmingly, whenever Black lives are taken, it is white officers who are taking it. But it doesn't matter what color the officer is. If you want to paint them blue, okay, we'll let you paint them blue. But we have a blue problem in America. And that's what I want to say about it, is that, the fact is that there are so many unknowns in this case that we will never know. And you said it, and I'm going to let you go ahead and talk, man, because you said it about the protests. We need to keep this as nonviolent as possible, because there are so many other things that are at play here that are in the souls of Black folk, that unless we approach this with passion and purpose, because so many times protests are all about passion. But when we approach it with passion and purpose, that's when change happens, in my opinion. And that's all I've got to say about it.
Well, and again, the unknowns here, the question marks are in all the wrong places. Because I agree with everything that's being said right now. But we know that we know that Sean had a gun at some point. We know that for a fact because his own Facebook videos show him driving around the city, randomly shooting at neighborhoods. Sure. That's an offense right there that warrants a response from police officers.
Not a death sentence, though.
The details that we do know right now are that in his own video, the evidence against him is on his own phone, that he was driving recklessly on the interstate, then driving recklessly through the city. Very. Look, I don't think you need to be some sort of high level, psychiatrist to say that his behavior was not normal. This is not how you behave. Um, it's reckless. It's endangering behavior. And then he ran from the police.
Yep.
Now, if we stop right there, we say this should not have ended the way it did. And from that point forward is when things get too muddy, because the police and the grand jury agrees that he ran. He was tased. Taser didn't work.
Supposedly.
Fair enough. Right. That's why I said from this point forward, this is where we have gray area.
Yes.
But if we take it out, if we take it at face value and acknowledge what they're saying, if you point a gun at a police officer, you're probably going to die.
And I'm sharing this with you because I agree with that. Totally 100% agree with that, especially as a black man. If you point a gun at a police officer, you will die.
Probably.
But no, I mean, and once again, I have friends
if you fire on a police officer, they're going to return fire.
I've watched it, and you know this, and we talked about this before. I've watched this video, and from the moment the man was tased, there was about 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds. So tase, and he actually says, "Oh shit!" Drops the phone. 2.5 seconds from the tasing, you hear pop, 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 pop. Pause. Pop, pop. Now, brother, you know me, and I will call it like I see it. And like I said when I was talking with you, man, I see how this is muddy. I see how this is not, as a black man, when I muddy the waters, I do not get the benefit of the doubt at all. But I want you to look at this. Okay? So my point is that if I was seen in a Facebook video, okay, firing a gun. Now me, honestly, no, I would not be driving through a neighborhood firing a gun. I'm too old for that shit. But I could have a Facebook video, me with a Glock, at the shooting range with you, right? Just having a good time. If something like this happens to me, would that video come back to haunt my ass? And I'm asking this as I'm showing this picture. Will this guy, if anything happens to him, if he runs
if this guy goes out and kills, if this guy goes out and kills somebody or creates an incident, yes, this photo will come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this: will it be as fast? Will it be as decisive?
Look, I get your point. Every time, Brock, what's his fuck, raped a girl, and when they show his picture, it's his high school yearbook photo and his him with the swim team. When Trayvon Martin gets killed, it's a picture from his Facebook page where he's snarling and holding a gun.
Yep.
Yes,
absolutely.
I absolutely agree with the point that you're making there. You're right, absolutely right. But I think this was one of the points that we were talking about earlier, and that is we don't know what happened here.
Nor will we ever.
We cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, say what happened here. So to have a we have on its face another situation where the police killed a black man. But every one of these situations is different. And George Floyd didn't pull a gun on a cop. He resisted arrest, and he was killed. Yep. And we watched the man die.
Yep.
And that that doesn't seem to be in dispute. Now let's see how that trial goes. And again, if it doesn't go the way it probably should, then there should be an uprising.
Yeah.
But this isn't the case to hang your hat on. This is not the case to hold up.
Yes.
As the example.
I do. But once again, this is a case that you can make a case for, in the fact that you can look at this as a case study, as to say, you know what, look, this guy was being pursued by police for outstanding warrants. Outstanding warrants, Aaron. I'm like, if I had
who are we talking about now?
No. We're talking about Dreasjon. We're talking about Dreasjon. Outstanding warrants.
That's not why he was being pursued in this case.
Whoa. No. Yeah. Why was he being? Well, because he was doing erratically.
140 fucking miles an hour on the interstate, Evan, and then he started
filming. He was being followed by the police chief, and also by the police.
So he ran because he has warrants.
He ran because he has warrants. Right. Now, here's the thing. He ran because he had warrants, man. And the fact is that should he have ran? Absolutely not. No, he was absolutely driving recklessly. That's the thing. But the fact is that we have someone who is dead. We have someone who's dead because he was being pursued by the police. Now, when he started to elude police, when he drove at 100 miles an hour, he was endangering other lives. Yes. But what happens when a white person drives 100 miles an hour and endangers other people's lives?
Again, though, the circumstances are important here.
Dude, you're really low. You turn yourself up.
All of the details, all of them have got to be taken into account. And this is just not one you put in when you're putting together your list of cases to demonstrate systemic police brutality and how the system treats black people. I wouldn't include this one. There's too many holes in it.
Okay. No, I agree. Once again, I agree with you that there are too many holes.
Because at the end of the day, if this dude pulled a gun on a cop, there's no longer a discussion to be had, Evan.
Right. But you said the one word that is always going to come against black people, and that is the word if. That's the word if. That's the word if, man. Because the fact is, we don't know. And we just got to say, we will never know.
That's why I'm saying you can't include this with the rest of them. We can talk about Ahmaud Arbery. We can talk about Trayvon Martin. We can talk about George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
There are far too many examples. Thanks, Roger. There are far too many examples. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit, man. A little bit.
There are far too many examples. I'm not sure. It seems to always happen like an hour.
There you go. There you go. Whatever you did is working now.
All right.
There you go.
There are far too many, I hate to use the word good, but there are far too many appropriate examples for this discussion, okay? Mm-hmm. And I feel sorry for Dreasjon's family, and I wish it would have ended differently. But this, I'm sorry. If you want to use this as an example of how the grand jury process needs to change and it needs to be more transparent, yes. Okay? And because of this incident, the community is already making inroads with the local police, and there's going to be, a civilian review board, mm-hmm. and we can discuss the merits of that as well. Mm-hmm. But there's you got to pick and choose your battles, man. And
Yes.
I get how this looks, me saying it, and I'm
Guys, listen,
I'm
yeah,
not
no,
trying to be that fucking guy.
you're not that guy.
I'm
You're not.
saying if I've got, you know, if I'm trying to make my point about why, I don't know, Trevor Bauer should be re-signed by the Cincinnati Reds. By the way, shout out Cy Young Award winner.
Yes, yes.
Okay, one of the arguments I'm not going to use is him wanting to sign 1-year contracts. It doesn't benefit the Cincinnati Reds. It doesn't benefit the argument. You see what I'm saying? And it's not lying by omission.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's Gia, I'm going to say this. I don't think there are plenty of examples of a white person shooting at a cop and the cop's not returning fire. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. If you can point it out to me, if you can send me a link, that's fine. Now, again, let's split the hairs appropriately. You're going to show me videos of white guys acting like assholes to cops and threatening stuff. That's fine. But until they raise a gun and fire at him, we're not talking about the exact same situation, because that's what he's being accused of.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know that happened. I don't, but you don't either.
And here's what I will say. Okay. This is listen. Allow me.
You're absolutely right, Roger.
Let's see. Okay. So here's what's happening right now. Okay. Aaron, number one, I know exactly, I know where you are. And Mary is right. There are people who are extremely woke on this podcast. And the fact is that when we talk about instances like this, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. Because I want something definitive that I can point to. But the problem is, and this is something that I've noticed, the problem is that even when we point to something as definitive as goddamn George Floyd getting killed, getting murdered in front of us, there are still people who will bring up his criminal past, who will not see him as a man. And the fact is that you, my friend, are one of the greatest allies that I have ever known, and I love. And the fact is that you are saying the things right now that, yes, each and every person that is watching us right now, they should be questioning. They should be asking questions. But the fact is that when we see the reaction of people who continue to drag and rake Black bodies across the coals, no matter what they have done, in order to have any type of speaking point, it just seems like they have to be squeaky clean.
Yeah,
and
you're not wrong at all.
And I know you,
yeah.
and I love you for this. And I'm about to say it. I know you know this, and I know that you believe this with all your heart. And I know what you're saying tonight is trying to confirm that, and the fact that, you know what, we have to take this as a huge snapshot. Once again, as a historian, I have to look at the big picture of history right now. And I have to look at where we are at. Okay? I have to look at where we're at. We are at a point in history right now to where we are, and you and I, quite frankly, my friend, have talked about this before, where we are starting to question the benefit of the doubt. We've never been there in American history before. We have always gone against what Black people have said. And now we're in a position where it's like, well, do we really believe what is being said by the police? Do we really believe what is being said by the media. And I don't want you to get me wrong on this. I don't want you to
No.
see this as me catering to the right or anything, because the right, they're fucked up. They're just, they create their own bullshit. But what we're looking at as a society, you and I, what we're looking at is we're looking at what will make the biggest impact, what will make the greatest splash as far as getting people to see and truly to sympathize and empathize with the Black community. And we see this case, and I think we both settled on this one point, and that is, you know what? The fact of the matter is that while it may not be the cleanest of cases, it's still a case. And it's one that's worth us taking a look at. And it's one that's worth us looking and gleaning from it what we can. And you did it, my friend. You said it early on in the podcast. You said, look, the fact of the matter is that there is a Black mother who is distraught right now. There is a community that is missing a serviceman right now, someone who served their country. You know, could his life been any different? Yeah, it could have. Could our lives been? Yeah, I could have made a lot of less stupid mistakes that I did in my life. But the fact of the matter is that my life deserves to be examined in its entirety. And the problem is that we are looking at this young man's life in a microcosm. And we're looking at it through the lens of, okay, what did he do to deserve this? Which, quite frankly, should trigger every single one of our female listeners right now. Because women understand. They understand. If anybody understands, women understand the fact that when you are blamed for something that you didn't do, didn't deserve, they understand. And you and I, my friend, I don't understand that. I don't understand what that is. I've been fortunate in my life as a Black man, as a man. I've been fortunate. So I think what needs to be said at this point is that what we're feeling right now is we're feeling that same drive that we all need. Like, we need that yin and yang. We need it. We need it. And so what it does is it keeps us focused, it keeps us centered, and it keeps us dedicated to what we need to do as a community in order to fight racial injustice. I totally understand what you're saying, brother. I do. And I'm with you, because I'm like, you know, there are things about this case that we will never know. But there are things about this case that, once again, Dave Chappelle in his cold open at SNL this past week, he's like, look, I've been Black a long time, and I see a pattern. We see a pattern with the police.
Yes. And I think I've made it pretty clear.
You made it very clear.
It's something to be addressed. So I'm having fun with the cancel culture going on our feed right now. By the way, I don't believe in cancel culture, but y'all have earned that one. I think it's funny. We're having a conversation. We're talking about the nuances of things here, and apparently there's not room for that.
Well, I think the thing that is going on.
I'm a Leo too, Gia.
I know. I know. I think the thing that is going on right now is that thing that's happening all over the United States. We all are feeling fucking triggered by everything. Okay? We are. And what we need to do is we need to find the fact that number one, we are talking this out in a way that has never been done before in history. We're actually having discourse. We're actually learning from each other. We're actually trying to take in consideration what each other are saying. And I will say this, and I will say this to everybody that's watching out there. This man that is sitting on this broadcast with me, We have had so many different discussions, and every single one of those discussions have come out at the end with him and I understanding the fact that, number one, we are human beings, and the fact is that everybody else deserves to be heard. Okay. I love this guy.
And also that we pretty much agree.
And that we agree. And that we will push back and forth.
I think that's the big irony I'm seeing right here, is that I'm actually in full agreement.
You're asking the devil's advocate questions.
I'm not even playing devil's advocate. I'm asking the questions everybody should be asking in this situation. And as we said before the show, and what you guys miss out on is how much Evan and I talk right before the show and kind of start gathering some thoughts, is that these things rile up emotions in people, and they should. But if your emotions prevent you from seeing all the details and nuances of something, then that needs to be kept in check. And one thing I'm really happy to see thus far is they encourage people to protest and get out, and they did last night, and it was peaceful. And as soon as the news broadcast came out, you had your requisite, racist motherfuckers saying, "Oh, when are the riots going to start, and kill them all," and all that stuff. And we haven't had that, and we need to make it peaceful, and it needs to be about community healing, because nothing new is going to happen. People marched all summer long, and the powers that be have granted audiences with people, and it's progress on stuff like this is slow and almost seems to move in reverse. But this has brought about a potential civilian review board of police brutality cases. This is bringing about a review of how grand juries handle evidence. And those are massive strides in a culture that has pretty much just dismissed or hand waved the concerns of the Black community when it comes to stuff like this. So,
I got to say something, and this is, and we are going long tonight, which I think is awesome. Guys, there have been so many times that Aaron and I have looked at each other, and we have not always been, amicable during conversations. But at the end of a conversation, we've always come back to the point that we're on the same side. And once again, I'm not trying to take up for him. He's a big boy. He can do it himself, but I'm just speaking about Aaron is my friend. There are times that I have just been flat out fucking wrong. And there are times that he, has admitted that he's like, "Oh shit, I never thought about that." That's the whole purpose behind this. First of all, I love this. I love being able to talk on Wednesday nights, most of the time Wednesday, sometimes Thursdays. But I love being able to talk on Wednesdays. I don't quite know, honestly, what to say right now, other than I know, guys, trust me, I know his heart. I know exactly where he's at. And I know, and seriously, dude, seriously, I'm not trying to, you're a grown man, you're a grown ass man. But I know his heart. And the fact is that, we never ever profess to have things, correct on this show at all, as far as, the way we say it or what we do or what, like I said, what we say. But, Gia, that's a great point. That is a great point. And we've actually talked about that. Maybe we need a woman's voice on here, to kind of just give us some, just to be like, okay. Um, he has taken so many lumps and has stood in the fray.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not really sure. Especially for a group of people who know me through this show alone, and this is quite frankly, as far as I can tell, the first time any of you've really had any issue with what I've said. So I'm going to reflect on this, but I hope you
Okay.
all do too, because everybody seems to be awfully emotional about things they don't know right now.
Hmm.
Several of you believe that an innocent man was shot in the street. Other people believe that a criminal drew a gun and fired at a cop. I don't know which of those things is true, and I've made that pretty clear. I've made it very clear I don't know which of those things is true, and that's why I'm kind of, if I seem a little indifferent or unemotional to it, it's because that's what I have to be, because I'm analyzing the situation and the information that is presented to us. And unless one of you was on a grand jury, you don't have any more information than I do. You've seen shitty, pixelated, slowed down video and pictures that are damn near inconclusive. Is it a gun? Is it his phone? I don't know. You don't know. You can't tell what it is. And yeah, Evan, I've heard the video. I listened to it a whole bunch. But I'm not a forensics person.
Mhm.
I don't know where those gunshots are coming from. And you're relying on the audio recording of a phone that fell on the ground. You been invaded? Got a no-knock raid coming?
I didn't know what that was. I was like, oh,
I couldn't hear it, so I don't know.
did you hear
I didn't know.
that?
I didn't hear a thing. Um,
Jeez. Okay.
well, but you're behaving as if you do. You're behaving as if you have more information. You're saying unequivocally, an innocent man was shot in the street. That's what you've been saying. Here's what's funny, Roger. No, I'm not speaking authoritatively. I'm saying straight up, I don't have any more information than you do. You guys are the one making absolutely straight up statements. I think it's unfortunate that this is another incident where a black man was shot and justice does not seem to be served. And if I haven't made that clear, I don't know what else I can do or say. It's tragic that it happened yet again. It's tragic that it came out after George Floyd and especially Ahmaud Arbery, which again, another situation. And then y'all need to go back and read, because it is in writing and you stated it. I love it when people can't own their own commentary. So I look, it's unfortunate. I've really enjoyed having a lot of people here, and I hope you come back, because if we can't disagree over things like this, then there's really no point in having these conversations. And we're actually not even disagreeing. I mean, I can't. It's.
But this is here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Yes, yes, and this is what is kind of complexing. Not complexing. God, I've been drinking. This is what's vexing for me, is because I know the people who are on the other side of this, Aaron, and I know that they are.
I do too, and all the
right.
things they've said, I've praised. You and I've had conversations after the show where I'm like, man, it's fantastic to have this type of commentary. So it's unfortunate that this seems to be where things are going with people. Nah, gee, I'm not mad. You don't understand how unmad I mean.
So
this is funny.
Here's what's happening. Here's what's happening. Is that when we're trying to take a look at this situation, and we're trying to understand, as you put, the nuance behind what happened, what's going on. As we look at this situation, it is vital that we not separate ourselves from the fact that this was another Black individual being shot in the streets. We have to start there. I mean, we have to. No
Yes.
matter what the consequences are, no matter what, the situation surrounding it is, we have to start there. Because if we don't start there, if we just say, okay, well, this guy, he ran from the police and he got shot. If we say that and we don't examine the fact that he was a black man, if we don't examine that, man, then the problem is that for so long, those details have been suppressed. Those details have never, ever gotten out
Which details?
to the public. That number one, that details the fact that, you know what? Okay, was he armed or wasn't he? And the fact is that we don't know. So if we don't know,
that's been exactly my point.
but if we don't know, the and I'm not saying you, but what I'm saying is the overwhelming majority of people will default to the fact that, well, he probably was armed. I'm not saying that that's what you said. You did not say that. But what I'm saying is most people, and that could be 51% or 99% or somewhere in between, but most people will default to the fact that, oh, well, he probably was armed. And we have been taught to believe the police. We've been taught to believe what they say. Now, once again, I don't want to be one of those conspiracy theorists that says, well, they're always lying and that, that's not me.
No.
But in this instance, it just seems to me that so many people have defaulted so quickly to the fact, well, he was armed, so you know what? If you point a gun at a police officer, you're going to be shot. That's a no shit statement. Duh. Because if I was a police officer,
it doesn't seem to be resonating.
No. If I was a police officer and you pointed a gun at me, okay, I'm gonna defend myself. Absolutely. But when that becomes the default without any other explanation, when there's no video, when there's nothing like that, the number one answer to this thing becomes, well, he probably did have a gun. Once again, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that what I've watched, what I've read about this situation, people believe the police over black men.
Okay, let's have an honest thought experiment real quick.
Please, let's do that.
Do you believe he had a gun?
I don't see physically how he could have had it.
I'm
being 100%
I don't
honest
either,
with you.
because the video of him in the car is him shirtless and he's wearing pretty baggy sweatpants.
And if when he
Plaxico
jumped out,
Burrison, you know what I'm saying?
right. And when you watch when he jumped out of the car, in his right hand, yes, it's grainy. But everybody that has watched that video, including WRTV6, including several different, lawyers and things like that, he had 2 cell phones and he had a t-shirt. When you add all these things up, if there's a shred of doubt, my point is, in the United States as we are right now, my friend, we always, and I rarely say always, but we always default to the fact that, he probably did have a gun. And so that's the way this young man is dismissed. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he is innocent or he's guilty of anything. The fact is that if I have a gun, and I showed you that picture and you know exactly what I'm talking about, if I have a gun, that does not mean that I have to die. Now, if I point that gun, and if I bear down on someone, yeah, that's threatening their civil liberties. But we will never know. My question is, why do we always, as a country, default to black and brown people having guns? And yes, He did have videos. Yes, he did have videos of him having a gun, firing a gun, all that stuff. Yes. I can't hear you, man. Sorry. I have no idea why that happens. A little bit better.
Hello.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Look, we have this problem. Hello.
I'm
Hello.
turning it up all the way so I can hear you.
I don't understand why this is happening.
There you go.
Okay. I'm never touching the mic when that happens. So
There it is.
I don't know once. We have a problem because the system's never been fair. It is designed this way. It is systemically racist. And I mean, we've had so many conversations about how police forces were created, and their responses, the corruption, the racism, all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, this is the most massive uphill battle to overcome that we could possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. So you ask why it happens? Because it's part of the soul of America. Mm-hmm. Because from day one, a lot of white people are taught to fear black people. We had this conversation a long time ago about how afraid white men are of black men because they're afraid that one day they're going to turn on them. They're going to turn on the slave owner. They're going to kick your ass. Okay, so we've had this issue for a long time. So culturally, I mean, look, man, you're on Parler. You answered your own question as to why this happens. Look at the number of racist people right now.
Yeah.
Good. Just go to any WRTV6 post on Facebook. It can be the most benign thing at all. It could be like, hey, thousands turned out to the park today for Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And there's going to be 100 fucking racist pieces of shit calling them names and really, talking about when are we going to incite violence and shit like that. So the to answer your question, Gia, it's our job to try to fix it, but the people that we continue to put in power to fix it don't seem to be doing that job. Mm. Is Joe Biden going to wave his hand and there will be no more police brutality? Is it that simple? I don't think it is. We've spent how many hundreds of years not just in this system, but reinforcing it. And an awful lot of people on the left need to put their hands up and recognize the failures of their policies that have contributed to this. Yeah, we can talk about the Southern strategy and all this stuff. We can talk about how the fact that conservatives proportionally are more racist. But if you don't think some Democrats are racist, if you don't think some Democrats are bigots, you don't think some Democrats have biases, there's the issue, is that not everybody is unified behind making this right. There are plenty of Democrats who think this was justified. There are plenty of Democrats who believe in the law and order that we currently have. So It's a massive uphill battle. We are a massive minority in this, and you have to convince people because the first response is, well, most cops are good. Again, I don't know if that's true. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think that the issue in the
I've made it very fucking clear, Gia. I've made it very fucking clear where I stand.
I think the issue that is going on right now with tonight, okay, is the fact that we have incredibly aware people that are, quite frankly, people that I love with all my heart, who are hearing things, and that's the thing that happens during podcasts.
Well, and Facebook is such an imperfect medium
It is.
for having a conversation, because it's more than Twitter, but you're still talking in sound bites. And I look, folks, I think you're all fucking fantastic. I don't know you personally, but I know Evan, and Evan knows you. So, and everything you've said up to this point we've all largely agreed.
Well, I think that even what they've said, even now, I mean, we all are emotional, and the fact is that the fact that okay, I love you.
I love you back. I love you, man.
The fact that we said that you said that they were being emotional, was obviously something that triggered. It wasn't.
I'm not sure I made that comment.
I know.
I think maybe you made that comment, and I'm being charged with it.
But what I'm saying is that the way that it came across is something that, you know what? The fact is that I saw what you said and I heard what you said, and we all hear and see things. And the fact is that it was something that was said that gave the impression that you didn't hear what I was saying. And I'll be the first one to say that in our exchange, I know you hear what I say. I know you listen, and I know you hear what I say. There are times that sometimes this shit comes out the wrong way. It just comes out the wrong way, okay? It just does. It does. And when it comes out the wrong way, this is what happens, is that people need to talk back and forth. And it's not about a matter of trying to defend what is being said, because you and I both know, man, being in a relationship is all about saying, oh shit, what I said hurt you. And you know what? Doesn't matter what I meant by it. If you're bothered by it, then I need to take a look at it. And you said that. And that's what I respect about you, man, is that you're like, okay, I need to take a look at this, and I need to truly examine what I said.
Yeah.
And I need to truly take a look and understand what I said and why it got such a reaction like it did tonight. And so what I'm going to say is this, is that I am so glad that we have such incredibly strong friends of this podcast. I'm so glad that I have an incredibly strong part of my family that shows up to watch. But we're going to have these arguments. We're going to have these times where things are said because we're all trying to figure this shit out. We're going to have times where things are said to where we're like, whoa, that's bullshit. And it's right for you to call bullshit. But the fact of the matter is that we have to understand that we all are truly on the same side. And when someone's wrong, call that shit out. If you think they're wrong, call it out. And I guarantee you that after this show, I know after the show, you and I are going to talk. You and I are going to be like, what? And we're going to talk, and we're going to figure this thing out, and we're going to say, okay, that's what happened. Because this guy's sitting here with me, quite frankly, like I said, I would trust him with my life. We've been through the fire together, guys. And when I say we've been through the fire, we've been through the fire together. And no, we don't get it right all the time. And no, we say some really stupid shit. We do. And it's shit that we don't even think is stupid. It's like, no, I didn't say, well, okay. But that's one of the things that we will do, is that we will take a look at this and we will be like, you know what, look, this is what happened. Because once again, I use fucking qualifiers all the time. Fact of the matter is that
here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
We
cannot be divided in this shit. We just can't. We've got enough division. And
actually, don't think we are. I mean, I'm trying to think back across this now. I don't think we're that divided.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about.
I think
I'm talking about just in the world.
A nuance or yeah. Hey, the reconciliation. This is a tough one. This is a really, really tough one. I mean, like you said earlier, we both know people that voted for Trump, and largely consider them good people. But it's hard to reconcile some of the aspects of that. So I kind of, look, I'll take one step toward them, but if they don't want to take one step back toward us, then I'm not. I mean, where do you go? And we've had this conversation 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find common ground with somebody who you don't have a shared reality with?
Yeah.
You can't. If we're talking about what the best way to deal with, an influx of immigration at the southern border, but you also think that brown people in general are just rapists and murderers, and everyone coming to America can't possibly be seeking asylum. They're coyotes and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's not really a good starting point, right? Like where do you find the common ground on that? We can talk about what the appropriate number of people to allow in is, and newsflash, I say take them all, because there's an awful lot of space. So a whole lot of space out there between. I mean, I love the map that shows how red the country is, and then it does the little shrink back and goes, but this is actually how many people live in these places. And then you realize, oh yeah, it's not quite so red in those places. There's a lot of place out there. I'm pretty sure we can take in damn near all the illegal immigrants and not really. And let me go back and say illegal immigrants is such a ridiculous term. These are people, by and large, fleeing horrible situations,
Mm-hmm.
and have been told that the United States is this shining beacon, on the hill, and come. I mean, we hang a sign on the door that says, "Give me your poor, give me your downtrodden," and all this shit. So, there's nuance to that discussion. But if you don't think people have a right to exist in the first place, or that by and large you're going to characterize them as one thing, then it's really difficult for me to extend much of an olive branch beyond that.
Mm-hmm. I think also one of the things that you have to remember too, man, is this is not an attack on you. No, it's not. It's not. And I'm going to explain why. These folks who are on our podcast are some of the greatest social justice warriors I've ever known. And you know that. And the fact is that they will not stop. They will not stop speaking out for those who deserve, to have a voice. This is a podcast to where both of our voices carry the same weight. And honestly, I'm honored, because I expect someone to call me out. Like, I will say, last week when I was rattling off, because I watched the show from last week. Last week when I was rattling off, different people from South America and stuff like that, when I was saying that so-and-so doesn't like so-and-so, I don't know if I was right or not. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that if we get folk who are so passionate about social justice, so passionate about speaking out, so passionate about making sure that people are heard, that on this show, they feel comfortable enough to call one of us out. And it just so happened, man, it could be me at any given moment. I could say something that, quite frankly, people just start calling out and say, that's bullshit, Evan. If people are calling us out on this show, then, my friend, here's the deal. I know the fact that we are doing things right. Because what we have to do then is we have to take it and we have to say, you know what? It has to come from an aspect of we're all on the same side. It all comes down to that piece. And if your family, which you are to me, I expect you, my friend, to call my ass out, like we've done several times on this show. And so when it happens, when you say something that it's like, oh, okay, I need to go back and look at it. You said exactly that. You said, okay, I'm going to go back and look at this.
Yeah.
But the fact is that these folks who are watching our show, these folks who are in with us, these are the folks that are championing everything we're talking about. Everything we're talking about. Okay? And Gia's right. I was a fucking Republican when I met these guys. But now I know better. I know better.
But does personally attacking me really, or is that a joke? Do I not know her well enough and that's a joke, or is this a personal attack? Because I got to be honest. I mean, it goes both ways, Evan.
Brother, listen, I'm telling you. The only time that I've ever learned anything is when somebody challenged me. Okay? Is when someone challenged me.
That's not an answer. Said, you're avoiding my question right now.
Well, no. Let me get to it. It's not a personal attack. Because the fact is that if it was a personal attack, it would be a personal attack, and then you would be done. You would be done, you'd be gone, wouldn't worry about you. But what I'm seeing here is this. I'm seeing people having, I see people having some issue with what you said. But they're still here.
They can't adequately elocute.
But they're still here.
They're here for you.
They're still here.
That's fine.
No, man. Listen.
No, I can read, Evan.
I know you can read. But what I'm saying is this, is that if we are to grow, then we're to grow through this type of calling out, this type of thing. Listen, I've been called out, man. I've been called out so much. Like, Gia just called me out. I was a Republican. And the fact that I was a pastor who was peddling all the bullshit that the churches do to people to brainwash them, to get them to think that they are less than what they are. And the fact is that unless I had someone just absolutely say, Evan, you're full of shit, I would not have even thought about that. Dude, it's one of those things. You say something, okay, you said it. But the fact is, it doesn't change that you are my friend and that you are an incredible ally. We're going to fuck shit up. We just are. So don't take this personal, man. This is not a personal attack on you. These are people who absolutely love what we're doing, love who you are, who is like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like Aaron. And they're just wanting clarification. Dude, it's not about you. It's not about you. I'm telling you. It's not about you.
That's an interesting take.
I'm just saying. That is my take. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not trying to, know what?
We'll delve into it, I'm sure.
I know we will. And we'll be back next week.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact is that,
Christ,
like I said,
what's going to happen between now and next week?
God, who knows? Who knows? But I guarantee you that this was not something. It was not something that it was a personal attack. Gia said, I'm sick. Let's blame it on that. No. This was something to where if they didn't care about us, and I'm saying us, brother, because you and I, we're both in the show. If they didn't care about us, nothing would have been said, and we would have been irrelevant. This would not matter at all. But people see what we're trying to do. And the fact is, you are of a caliber of person that I know, quite frankly, that is going to look at this and is going to be like, yeah, okay. There's some things that I said, yeah, I could have said it differently, but I still stand by some of the things, but I may have been a little off. I'm not saying that's what you're going to come to, But what I'm saying is you have that capacity. You've got that emotional intelligence, my friend, that is rare. And I think that if everybody watching us, all those incredible folks that are watching us, didn't know that, none of this would have been said. It would not have been said. Okay? Wouldn't have been said. And so I think what we need to do is to wrap this up, go to our respective, corners and huddle and say, you know what? This was one of those things. I'm trying to read his last breath. Aaron is okay. Aaron is me as a man. Okay. That's what I wanted to get to. The fact that you didn't turn off your camera and that Gia is still here should show you that we all who listen to this show are cut from the same cloth. We are. And I'm not trying to, man, dude, listen, I'm not trying to play, matchmaker, bring me a, peacekeeper or whatever. I'm not trying to do that. But what I am saying is this, is that, dude, I like that. That was my best, yeah, Bette Midler. Yeah, there you go. No, that's not Bette Midler. What the hell? Barbara Streisand. Sorry. Damn it. Starts with a B. But what I'm saying is, see what's happening. It is. You're right. Yes. Barbara Streisand. Yeah. I stand corrected, bro.
Now we're up in the air. Is that Yentl?
I know. We're up in the air.
Matchmaker, make me a match. That's what you're singing, right?
That's what I was singing. Yes. But once again, I'm about to take another shot.
I don't know.
And that's why I love having a beard. It catches most of it. What I'm saying is this: we have come a long way tonight. Okay.
I want to throw this in real quick.
Please.
Are Mary and Gia part of the COVID-19 and all that? Since I know they've got the Rona now. Okay.
They are
okay.
Legit. They're part of my family, man. They're part
No.
of my family.
No. I think you missed my comment there that they're both. I see that they're talking about her coughing and everything, and I was asking if they were part of the COVID-19 group that Michelle has created, and are
yes,
getting
I believe so.
Good info,
yep.
and are going to hopefully recover fully. It's no bullshit.
Okay, so I'm going to close this out.
All right,
if you don't mind. We didn't even get to the hair, and I'll save the hair.
This is an epic one, man. This is an epic one.
Epic one. Here's what I love, and you're going to be like, oh my God, you're such a Cancer. Yes, I am. I was born in June. I'm a Cancer. Here's what I love about this podcast tonight. Most of the people in the world that I love were here tonight. And what is just so encouraging to me. There's Taylor. What is so encouraging to me is the fact that we have people who are listening to us, man, who have this kind of fervor, who have this kind of fire, who have this kind of
that was the goal
energy, and that was the goal. And you, I'll go to the fire with you, man. But these folks, and I can't wait for you to meet them. We've been through the fire. I mean, this whole COVID thing, by the end of the day, we were joking about the shit. And I'm not saying joking about it by like calling it a hoax or anything, but we were like, man, come on, we got this shit. And it's because we got this. Because we've been through all kinds of shit, bro. These are the folks that, the coven. Coven. That's exactly what it is. You, man, are like my brother. You really are. And you will always be. And what we've done tonight is exactly what needs to be done, is that we have to stay engaged. And I applaud you for staying engaged. I applaud you for not signing off, because there's been so many people that have signed off and not listened. Gia's right. You'll love her to pieces. And she's got a Minnie Mouse voice. Brother, all these people on our podcast, Ayo, Simmons when he's here, JoJo, these guys, they kick things off, and they love us, and we love them. And this is the type of shit that makes Wednesday nights memorable for me, is because we come to this type of realization about each other. We're human. We'll fuck shit up. But if we're going to fuck shit up, let's fuck it up together. And that's exactly what we do. And my friend, I'm saying it. You're good. You're good.
Thank you.
I know you didn't think any otherwise, but you're good. And by the way, Devin Nunez just posted 5 takeaways from the Senate probe of McCabe on the FBI's faulty probe. I'm just saying, Parler.
I was going to ask for honestly, we're gonna have to add a segment. We're gonna have Hey Aaron, but from moving forward, we're gonna have to like what's going on Parler, and we're gonna have to a far more clever name than that. Some sort of pun on Parler.
There you go.
The Parler. There you go.
Or
welcome to the Parler.
Dude, we could do like a Pirates of the Caribbean. Instead of parlay, we could go Parler. There you go. I'm just saying.
You know what? We need to get the two silly they're secondary characters in all those movies. One of them has the wooden eye. They're pirates. One's the heavy set guy.
Yes.
And the other one's so that's
the
you.
One that says parlay.
That's you and I. We need to have that as our logo from now on.
That's us.
Parlay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm serious. I had a great Hey Aaron segment for you. At this point, dude, we're going on 2 hours. But this would be us sitting at the bar. It'd be us sitting at the bar, dude.
Dude, I'm just saying. We spend hours doing that.
So I am going to sign off. I love each and every one of you. My friend, I can't, once again, I can't tell you. Gia said, Aaron, say you're my friend, butthead.
You're getting messages quicker than I am. This is weird. I'm running this, and somehow you're getting better updates than I am.
I'm saying that I love you. She said, say it now. Say it.
Wait, I didn't get the message before that.
Oh my God. Crazy. Seriously? Okay.
It's okay.
Nope. Say it. She said, say it. Say it. Say you're her friend.
Is that? I'm your friend. I'm friends with all of you. I love that everybody tunes in. I honestly think whatever. If I'm not sure vitriol is the right word to use. Whatever.
This is family shit, dude.
I don't.
This is family shit.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
it's family shit.
Maybe that's what I'm getting. But you know,
Kamala has her hive. We've got our family.
Mamala. I love calling her Mamala. Mamala.
I
love everybody that's tuned in. I love the participation. It's phenomenal. And I think there's somewhere along the way there's been maybe a misunderstanding or something. I'll watch this back and see. I don't know. You know, I don't remember every word I said, and that's probably because I drink and smoke.
That's the whole reason for the podcast. We drink and we know things.
Well, and that's part of it. You know, the show gets better, but worse, but better as it goes on. You know what I mean?
I've got a whiskey left, and I'm not drinking whiskey.
As do all the conversations at a bar. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So, you know, look, someday when all this is not so crazy, we'll We'll meet face to face and
I'm going to tell you. I'm
get
going to tell you right now.
every appetizer at the bar and order around a JMO. But for me, a Jaeger.
Here's my prediction. We're syndicated now. We're going to be syndicated by the end of the year, brother. I'm serious. We can quit our jobs.
Are we going to get picked up by the WB?
We're going to get picked up by no.
BET. BET's picking us up.
Oprah.
Oprah's picking us up? Oh, now that's the shit. We can get you get an endorsement from Oprah, you're pretty much set. I want Martha Stewart.
Oh my God. Look at what's happening. We've decided Aaron is probably one of us. Yes. Yes.
I'm looking forward to the tribal race that I have to, like the course that I have to go through and the questions and everything.
I've got the perfect title for tonight. It's called The Crucible. There you go. That's it. It's The Crucible. It's The Crucible. It is. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I've already got an A tattooed on my back.
There you go. We are going to end this. Oh, Taylor, that makes sense. We're going to end this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is what reconciliation looks like. This is what it really looks like. And the fact is that, my friend, I love you. Send us out with some words of encouragement, man.
I feel like I owe reparations. Like I'm gonna have to buy all the drinks the first round at the bar. But I'm cool with that. You know what? Look, as you said, there will be initiation. I hope. Fire, yeah, that's fine. I ain't too worried about that. That's good.
Fire. There you go. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm a Leo. My fire sign and my earth sign. I can't remember which. Are we fire signs or earth signs? They took it easy on me.
They took it easy on me. I'm a Cancer.
Everybody that's a Leo here. I'm a Leo. I can't remember. Are we fire sign or we earth sign? Somebody will tell us.
Earth sign. Earth sign. I think so.
Probably.
Oh.
Anyway, how do we go out, man? You know what? Look. Hopefully, this is a good example. We've done almost 2 hours. This is the longest show we've done.
Wow.
And
it's a fire.
Gia, women run this shit. You know what? If only more women ran this shit. I hope.
Yes.
I hope Kamala's next. We've had an awful lot. Fire sign. Thank you, Taylor. Dick's been swinging for a couple hundred years now. I'm quite fine. I'm quite fine with letting somebody else try, because we clearly go.
Yes.
White dude's been fucking it up long enough, and 2 more 70-year-old white guys, being our only choices was not the greatest. So I'm glad Kamala's there. Take us out. You know what? This show's a microcosm. We've been all over the place. Shit, we were talking about IU football at the beginning of this, and then we talked about the election, and then we talked about Dreasjon Reed, and then I got dragged, and I may have deserved it. I'll watch it again. Shit. If I did, I'll be the first to throw my hand up. And now we're here.
My God.
You know what? It's been good times. I love everybody. I love everybody for tuning in. Tell your friends. tell other people. How are you, the women only? Well, probably because you're going, these two guys are fucking.
Oh, you already got married. She said, who's yours?
And we need your guidance. That's probably
yes, we do. God, yes, we do.
If we'd listened to the women earlier, I think we'd probably be in a better place. Yes, Hoosiers. Take us out. You're not the. I'm with you. Look, I got.
Yeah.
Mary.
There you go. IU
right there. Look, hopefully this is an indication of, I mean, if we can have a quick little disagreement and then kind of move on, and knowing that we're all on the same team ultimately, because that's what we are, then that's a good thing, and hopefully that's a sign for what could happen in America. I don't know how many people I want to reconcile with. That's a strange thing, but I tell you, if people do, then you embrace it. You know, straight up, I'm not a religious person.
Nope.
I am probably an atheist, but at a minimum agnostic. So I certainly don't believe in any particular thing. But I tell you what, Jesus said and did some pretty good things, and that was try to reach out and love people and forgive. And it's tough. That's a really, really hard thing to do. But if people want to recognize that, you know what, I was part of maybe some ugly rhetoric 4 years and I want to get past that, then you can be my brother, you can be my sister. We can move forward as friends, and we don't have to agree on every policy issue, but we do have to come to some basic agreements about human dignity and human respect.
Yeah.
And let's hope that that's what we're laying the groundwork here. You know, we say some occasionally incendiary things, and you know, it's, look, we hopefully won an election and we have a chance to you know, do a touchdown dance, but also we got to act professional and respectful moving forward. And
although my 2 weeks aren't up, my 2 weeks
no,
are not
man, enjoy
up,
it. Run
petty
around,
AF.
act a fool.
Petty AF.
It's all good. Yeah. It's all good.
Okay.
But there's new work to be done. And and some of it is
good phrase.
Some of it is the same old work, but there's new work to be done too. And we're hopefully we're gonna put those things together. Hopefully old Joe recognizes that he came to prominence on the backs of Black people, people of color, women, minorities, and LGBTQ, and appoints them to prominent positions. And we actually can begin to make strides on things like police reform, healthcare, education, how we treat immigrants, yada yada. Look, it's the fight's ours now.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem was we thought we'd done the work, and we got 8 years of Obama, and it was pretty good. And I think we forgot there was still work to be done. And the last 4 years have said, there's still a lot of work to be done. So I'm with you. I'm going to stand side by side with all of you. I will. I am your ally. I'm everybody's ally on this. And those aren't words. I've been there and done it. So love you all. Thank you for tuning in. One last time, I got a shot to go out.
Oh, wow. Oh, whoa. Let me do this.
And if anybody wants to get on House Party After Dark.
Oh, wow. My friend. Oh, man, that's too much. But I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
Sláinte.
Everybody, love you. Take care out there.